More mercy. Nice smile. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Thera Vanachari Thera Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Thera Vanachari Yamuna Thera Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Thera Vanachari Thera Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada. Jaya Nityalila Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Asashata Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nityalila Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Asashata Srimad Bhakti Sadanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय. वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय. मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय. श्री अयोध्या धाम की जय. श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. गंगा माई की जय. यमुना माई की जय. तुलसी देवी की जय. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Shri Harinama Sankirtan Yagna Ki Jai. Cow Protection Ki Jai. Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Oh, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 11, Text 36. The chapter is called Calculation of Time from the Atom. Tasaiva Kante Kapo Bud Yam Padmam Abhichakshate Yaddarer Nabi Sarasa Asiloka Saroruham Tasyaiva Kanto Kapo Bhud Yam Padmam Abhichakshate Yaddarer Nabi Sarasa Asiloka Saroruham. Tasa Tasya of the Brahma Kalpa, Eva certainly, Cha also, Ante at the end of, Kalpaha millennium, Abhut came into existence, Yam which, Padmam Padma, Abhichakshate is called, Yat in which, Harehe of the personality of Godhead, Nabihi in the navel, Sarasaha from the reservoir of water, Asit there was, Loka of the universe, Saroruham lotus. Translation. The millennium which followed the first Brahma millennium is known as the Padma Kalpa, because in that millennium the universal lotus flower grew out of the navel reservoir of water of the personality of Godhead Hari. Please repeat. The millennium which followed the first Brahma millennium is known as the Padma Kalpa, because in that millennium the universal lotus flower grew out of the navel reservoir of water of the personality of Godhead Hari. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The millennium following the Brahma Kalpa is known as the Padma Kalpa, because the universal lotus grows in that millennium. The Padma Kalpa is called the Pitra Kalpa in certain Puranas. This is a very short purport, so I read one more verse. So the chapter is continuing. It's a technical subject matter, time from the atom, how Lord Brahma's creation takes place in a very scientific and detailed manner. It is very interesting because Srimad Bhagavatam gets deeply scientific, especially about the creation and the cosmology. So it is a great interest, not only amongst the scholars, but even scientists, how the Vedic view, what is the Vedic understanding of our cosmology and the different dimensions. So it is difficult for them to understand, of course, not even possible. A devotee accepts the claims of the Puranas, especially Mahabhagavata, Mahapurana, where the conclusions are stated by the acharyas and the great avatars who actually explained in detail. In this case, Lord Brahmaji reveals his origin and how he manifested from the lotus navel of Lord Vishnu, Garbhodayakshaya Vishnu, and how he manifested himself in that cosmic ocean. And how the lotus flower, as it opens and grows, the different stages, as previous verses also explain the different stages. In this case, Padma Kalpa In that millennium, the universal lotus flower grew out of the navel reservoir of water of the personality of Godhead Hari. So this is when actually comes out. So there's a stages. So the next verse, continuing. Ayam tu katitaha kalpo dviti yasyapi bharata varaha iti vikyato yatrasich chukaro harihi. Translation. O descendant of Bharata, the first millennium in the second half of the life of Brahma is also known as the Varaha millennium because the personality of Godhead appeared in that millennium as the hog incarnation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The different millenniums known as the Brahma, Padma and Varaha kalpas appear a little puzzling for the layman. There are some scholars who think these kalpas to be one and the same. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, the Brahma kalpa in the beginning of the first half appears to be the Padma kalpa. We can, however, simply abide by the text and understand that the present millennium is in the second half of the duration of the life of Brahma. So this is continuing the description. So as Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, that the present millennium is in the second half of the duration of the life of Brahma. So he lives up to 100 celestial years, and so we already in his half, the second half. So as we read on the chapter, this is going to be more and more revealed in detail. So when we can see the whole picture of the universal manifestation, cosmic manifestation, how the calculation of time. It is very interesting how this whole universe manifesting from this lotus flower and eventually the hurl, which we call the Mount Meru, which is the axis of this Brahmanda, egg-shaped universe. And on the top of the hurl is Brahmaloka. Even now he resides. He's got his great loka on the top of Mount Meru, and 4 rivers coming down on 4 directions. So these directions are cosmic directions, and one of the sacred river is Ganga Devi, Mother Ganga, coming down, touches the lower levels of Jambudvip and purifies the whole universe, cosmic universe. Every universe, as we know, has a Brahma. Each Brahma has different capacities, multiplied heads, 100 heads, 1,000 heads, even million heads. So we can imagine the capacity of these great personalities, great devotees of Lord Narayan, Lord Krishna himself. So they're the original fathers of each universe. And we are very fortunate because Brahmaji is not just respected and honored as the first created being, but also the head of our sampradaya, Brahma, Madhya, Gaudiya Sampradaya. So he's our authority. And as we study, especially Brahma Samhita, which Caitanya Mahaprabhu discovered, mercifully presented it to us, and a very clear description about the ultimate abode, Raja Bhumidham, Raja Mandal, beautiful pastimes of Krishna, the beautiful village pastimes, the cowboys, the cowgirls, Damodar, Vatsalya Ras, the beautiful, affectionate feelings of the residents of Rajabhumi. So Brahmaji gave us everything. not only the scientific details, how the universal manifestation, the cosmic manifestation takes place, the kalpas, is the time measurement, everything is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then ultimately we arrived at the conclusions of Brahma Samhita, which is a very exalted, deeply esoteric, transcendental subject matter. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj gave a very eloquent presentation, very deep. Unless we have a very purified heart, difficult for us to fully comprehend, but at least we can appreciate these sentiments and descriptions which he explained in these translations. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Lord Brahma's glorious position is beyond description. So Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully gave us the Brahma Samhita, which he personally discovered at Brahma Kund. So this is what I can say about these two slokas, and the next verses will continue in a bit more detail, of course. Today is also the auspicious we call Vaishnavas, we may say auspicious, but we also feeling lamentation of great departure or disappearance of great souls, not to speak of Nitya Siddha, Mahabhagavata Acharyas. Today is the disappearance day of Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So I compiled a few notes here about his life and his teachings. Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj is the spiritual master of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, who was the spiritual master of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So as we know, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada gave a lot of emphasis and glorification on his life, on the life of Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So I'll read and I'll stop at sections and I'll speak more. So Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. In 1849, Srila Gorakishore Das Babaji left Grihastha life. After the death of his wife, he moved to Vrindavan and took initiation from Sri Bhagavat Das Babaji, a disciple of Sri Jagannath Das Babaji. For over 30 years, Gorakishore Das stayed in Vrindavan, performing bhajana under the trees at Govardhana, Nandagram, Varsana, Radhakund, Sham, Suryakund, Raval and Gokul. Sitting in seclusion, he chanted 200,000 names of Krishna every day, 108 rounds of japa. He felt painful separation from Radha Govinda and cried profusely. As he wandered through the Dvasha Dvan, 12 forests of Raj, he would loudly chant the holy names in a deep voice, full of lamentation. He would also relish the following bhajan. I'll just read the English translation of the song. The bhajan he often chanted with lamentation, tears in his eyes. We can see, even just from the introduction to this essay, that we are reading about a person who is out of this world, a Mahabhagavata, Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated soul, who's descending to continue Mahaprabhu's line and give us all the blessings. It was a great Babaji Maharaj, very exalted Raganuga levels. He had great love, bhava, great prema for Radha Krishna's pastimes. Not most people could not understand or perceive his identity. Many just discarded him as a fake sadhu or so-called renunciate, pretender, amongst the many similar pretenders. Only a very exalted personality or personalities like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, some of the Babaji circles like Bhagavat Maharaj, mentioned here, Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they could recognize his transcendental significance, his position. He is actually coming out of Krishna Lila. And as we read on, he was actually one of the closest manjari, the servants of the maidservants of Srimati Radharani and Lord Sri Krishna. So the bhajana, O Radhe, Radhe, where are you? O goddess of ecstatic love, O Radhe, Radhe, O glories to you, O Radhe, Radhe, O Radhe, Radhe, please show yourself to me and thereby maintain my life. Your most despicable fallen servant calls out to you, O Radhe, Radhe, O Radhe, O artful enjoyer of Vrindavan, O Radhe, Radhe, O enchantress of Kanu, Krishna, Krishna's mind, O Radhe, Radhe. It's a very beautiful glorification, very emotional, transcendental emotions. These emotions were pure. He really felt this. He experiencing these Raganuga emotions, very deeply loved Radha and Krishna. Srila Babaji Maharaj, Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj's mood of renunciation was unparalleled. Sometimes he ate mud from the banks of Radha Kund or Yamuna. Other times he took madhukari from the Vrajavasis. Madhukari is a Babaji's daily practice of begging a little food from 1 to 7 houses. Just as a bee collects a drop of honey from each flower, he saw all the Vrajavasis, residents of Vrindavan, as being the direct personal associates of Radha and Krishna. As a result of this vision, he would pay respects to every person, cow, animal, bird, tree, creeper, insect, ant, in the holy dham. He had the transcendental vision. He could see them as the residents, very close associates of Radha and Krishna, regardless of the external forms, whether animals or humans or anything. He could see, even in the trees, he could see that they were Vrajavasis, close associates, servants of Srimati Radhika and Lord Shri Krishna. While staying in Varsana, he made a flower garland every day for Rai and Kanu. So this is another name, Radha and Krishna. Rai and Kanu. Kana or Kanu. Radha Krishna. So these names are very affectionate calling of the Vrajavasis. Rai, Kana, Kanu. They loved Krishna so much. Krishna was their child. All the way through up to his teenage years, everyone nurtured in a very parental, we call Vatsalya Ras. Vrindavan is very much in the Vatsalya Ras, culminating eventually Madhurya Ras. the residents of Rajabhumi, they were spoiling Krishna with their innocent, pure love. They loved Krishna so much. After 30 years of rendering intimate service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, Babaji felt inspired by the divine couple to see Sri Navadvip Dham. He visited all the Lila sthanas of Lord Gauranga in Gaura Mandala. In Navadvip, he used to sing one bhajan, which means, quote, by receiving Nitai's mercy, one gets Gauranga's mercy, which makes one eligible for Krishna Prema. With Krishna Prema, one can attain the service of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj was the embodied form of Sri Rupa Raghunath's renunciation. Completely detached, he would wash discarded cloth to cover his body. He drank from a rejected clay pot. He mixed rice with Ganges water, or simply some mud from the Ganga's bank sustained his life. Extraordinary example of renunciation. We cannot even imitate in dreams, and we should not, because he is the emblem of renunciation. There are many great examples in our Shastras of personalities who were out of this bodily conception of life. Jadat Bharat, for example, who was the reincarnation of Bharat Maharaj. Also Rishabhadev, the great, and not to speak of Nityananda Prabhu, great Avadut, transcendent to Avaduts, out of this world. Sadly, in the age of Kali Yuga, we see more and more fake sadhus, fake renunciation, which not recommended. Therefore, the acharyas set a system, which is a gradual process. No one can imitate higher realms of devotion service. The Avadutas, they were out of the four Varna ashram system. They were transcendentally absorbed completely. Only great rishis, great kings, Raja rishis, or great devotees could see their position, true identity, who they were. Just like when Jadat Bharat, who was behaving like a madman, he was forced to offer manual service to King Rahugana. And King Rahugana could not understand his position. Later on, he could understand the way he was speaking. So sometimes great personalities, they cover themselves, not out of humility, but because they have a particular purpose in a lila. And they're showing the world that we should aspire for the utmost humility, which cannot be imitated, but philosophically should be understood. His greatness and his purity and his devotion to Radha and Krishna. He never accepted service to himself. He took great offense if anyone dares to come and serve him. There's one time around 1908, more than 100 years ago, he losing his vision, his eyesight. But he was determined to see Yogopith in Navadvip Dham. And he had to cross the Ganges and to see and go through the jungle, through the bushes, venomous snakes, cobras. And some or other, he made it to Yogopith. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, who was already a disciple of Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he was astonished. He called him Prabhu, Master, dear Master. Babaji Maharaj, great Guru Maharaj. Often called him just Prabhu or Guru Maharaj. How did you come here? You're losing your vision. It's miraculous. And so he avoided answering him, but then he said, had one boy, a small boy, led me here. He held my hand. And Bhaktisiddhanta, that was, what kind of boy? How you look like? He didn't want to reveal that was actually the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, led him to Yogapith. He was blind, somehow to find the perfect place. And then Bhaktisiddhanta mentioned this to his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that my Guru Maharaj losing sight, he cannot see, he's going blind, what to do? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur suggested that he knows an eye doctor in Calcutta, bring him there. So he went back to Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who just happened to be at the bank of Ganges, and requesting, my Guru Maharaj, please come, I'll take you to an eye specialist. He gives you some remedies and you may regain your vision. And Gorakishore Das backed off. No way. I'm not going to accept any service from anyone. I'm not depending on anyone. And he ran towards the Ganges. And he wanted to kill himself. And Bhaktisiddhanta was running after him. Guru Maharaj, Prabhu, please, stay. And then he disappeared for a while. Apparently 45 days he disappeared in the jungles. Bhaktisiddhanta could understand his mood, of course. His highly exalted personality. And after 45 days he became visible again. All the villagers could see Gorakishore Das coming out. He had a very muddy and uncleaned appearance. That's another reason, as I will read a bit. And then the first thing he said, I'm not qualified to accept any service from anyone. I wish to be the servant of the servant of the servant. As Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Dasu na das, we should be the servant of the servant of the servant. None of these external things, brahmachari, grihastha, vanapastra, sannyas, sudra, kshatriya, vaishya, brahmana, they're all externals. I'm none of these things. I'm a servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. These are very exalted sentiments. Only a very advanced Mahabhagavata can experience this. But for us is a lesson and teaching that we should take the humble position and remain humble servants of our God brothers and God sisters. Be in the family of Srila Prabhupada. And when we're in that service mood, we feel love for the devotees and gratitude. We won't be envious of the devotees. When we serve the devotees, we don't feel envy, we feel love. So this is a very simple formula for all of us, regardless of our status in spiritual life, that we should remain humble servants of the Vaishnavas. Certain etiquette we follow, we respect the higher Vaishnavas, and naturally we offer our lives and surrender to our spiritual masters and take directions. So he carried 2 books written by Sri Narottama Das Thakur, Prarthana and Prema Bhakti Chandrika. On Ekadasi, he didn't eat or drink a drop of water, recognizing him to be a Mahabhagavata. Many tried to serve, but he never accepted. Regularly, he associated with and heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Thakur Bhaktivinoda in Swananda Sukanda Kunja in Gondru Ma Dweep. Constantly absorbed in bhajan, Srila Babaji Maharaj had no desire to make disciples. On the request of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, however, he reconsidered. Upon seeing the true humility and deep attachment of Thakur Bhaktivinoda Thakur's son for bhajana, Bhaktisaranta, Srila Gorakishore Das Babaji accepted one disciple, Sri Vashabhavani Daita Das. This was the initiated name of Srila Bhaktisaranta Saraswati initially, Sri Vashabhanavi Daita Dasa, later on known as Srila Bhakti Saranta Saraswati Thakur. To keep mundane people from approaching him from material boons, he once resided in the lavatories at the Kulia Dharmashala in Koladweep for 6 months. When public officials came offering to build him a proper bhajana kutir, Babaji Maharaj locked himself inside, said he already had one. He believed that associating with materialistic people was much worse than the smell of stool in the latrine. Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj advised a Calcutta doctor who wanted to open a free health clinic in Navadvip Dham. If you really want to live in Navadvip Dham, then give up your desire to run a free clinic for healing sense enjoyers. If you want to render substantial service, then renounce everything except what promotes Hari Bhajana. All other kinds of duties, services, simply bind one to the ghastly cycle of karmic reactions. Babaji Maharaj spoke gravely to a newly married man. A Vaishnava wife is extremely rare and difficult to find in this world. If one has the good fortune of having one, he should see it as a benediction from Krishna. The wife worships the husband as her Lord and Master. Similarly, the husband should worship the wife because she is Krishna Dasi, a servant of Krishna. In this way, the husband can protect his devotional enthusiasm by not considering his wife to be his maidservant, but she is always the maidservant of Krishna. One who wants bhojana, eating palatably, will spoil his bhajan, was a favorite quote Srila Babaji Maharaj. In other words, eating here and there simply to gratify the tongue destroys any attempts to worship Krishna. Once a devotee ate some festival prasadam in his bhajan kutir, Babaji Maharaj would not speak to him for 3 days. On the 4th day, he said, "You accept that festival prasadam given by low-class harlots and beautiful women because you took food without considering its origin. Your bhajan is useless." So these are very instructing and incredibly amazing. Is utmost renunciation, utmost distaste for sense gratification. That showing the world, teaching the world that sense gratification, especially uncontrolled sense gratification, is very detrimental on the path of bhajana, Krishna bhakti, because we become attached to the object of the senses instead of being attached to the son of Nanda Maharaj, our Lord Krishna. So sense gratification, which is a disease in the heart, distracts the living entities from the real objective, which is to learn the art of love of Radha and Krishna. And we have to disassociate with such persons. Similarly, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was similar in many ways. He warning his followers, give up the association of sensory joyous. Give up the association of materially absorbed personalities, because they don't have Krishna Bhakti. They take us in a different way. One time he wanted to commit suicide out of great separation. And the devotees managed to capture him, dear Guru Maharaj. They call him Babaji Maharaj. Please stay with us and teach us. But he had a bad odor, bad smell, because obviously he was deterring the unwanted persons. He was very, very cautious and teaching cautiousness, to be very careful with the association of materialistic persons. We have to be very, very careful. Therefore, even Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu says that one should give up. That is how we can recognize a Vaishnava. He gives up his inclination, his tendency to associate with materialistically involved or absorbed personalities, because they can distract us from Krishna consciousness. So he was more. He responded to some of the seekers around him that it is better to die, better to take poison than to have the association of materialistic persons. Because if you take poison, the soul separates from the body. But if you take the association of materialistic persons, the super soul and the soul will be separated because of our contaminated consciousness. We lose our attraction to Krishna. So these are all noble instructions. They're very beautiful to contemplate and meditate on a daily basis, how we can develop these sentiments and feelings, real feelings, not imitation, but real feelings. And that comes from sadhana practice, Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam, the 9 limbs of devotional service, what Prahlad Maharaj clearly explained. It's important for us as sadhakas because we gradually come up to those levels by the grace of the acharyas, grace of our spiritual masters, by their blessings only, by their blessings. By the blessings of Guru and Gauranga, we're gradually moving, proceeding higher and higher. And we should not just remain in one platform. We should gradually aim towards the ultimate objective, to the beautiful pastimes of Krishna and Balaram and Giri Govardhana. Not to speak of Damodar. Feel this love for him. On the 19th of November 1915, Srila Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj joined the eternal pastimes of Gandharvika Giridhari. His beloved disciple, Srila Bhakti Saranta Saraswati Thakur, established his samadhi on the banks of Sri Chaitanya Mas Radha Kund, near Lord Chaitanya's yoga pith in Sri Dham, Mayapur. In Vraja Lila, he serves Srimata Radharani as Guna Manjari. Guna Manjari. His Pushpa Samadhi stands beside the Radha Kunj Bihari Gaudiya Mat, near Radha Kund. So he's got a Pushpa Samadhi also in Radha Kund. Behind Radha Kunj Bihari Gaudiya Mat. So Pushpa Samadhi is also at Braj. And also Navadvip Dham, he's got a Samadhi there. So interesting to note that although he was hiding in the jungle as a great avadut and transcendentalist, no one could really detect his true identity, not to speak of his Nitya Swarupa as Guna Manjari. His name and fame spread all around Bengal and even in Rajadam, because they could see that there's an exalted personality amongst us. And he only accepted one disciple. And even Bhakti Siddhanta, he even called Bhakti Siddhanta, his only one disciple, as Amar Prabhu. He called him, "How can I serve you?" His humility was extraordinary. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada often compares his position to Rupa Raghunath. Very similar renunciation, great renunciation. Especially Raghunath Das Goswami, Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And see this powerful Babaji Maharajas who bring the Sri Nam into this world, just like Haridas Thakur, Nam Acharya, Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, who also gave guidance to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Gorakishore Das was very much attracted to Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, so he took shiksha from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we can't even imagine the exalted position of these great exalted Mahabhagavatas. They were just simply manifestation of Manjaris, a great personalities, confidential associates of Radha and Krishna in Vraj. He was approached by many seekers, sincere seekers. And there was a very wealthy gentleman approached him. "How can I develop Krishna prema? Tell me one thing." And Gorakishore Das, out of great humility, he just pointed towards this book. Narottama Das Thakur's book. Prema Bhakti Chandrika. There was another one, Partana. So he carried two books. That was his only possessions, really. Sometimes he even lost his neck beads or beads. He had no possession whatsoever. Akinchana. The only possession was the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas, the service to the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas, Sri Nam, the holy name, Rajabhumi, his meditation, his contemplation. That was his only possession and nothing else. Nevertheless, he kept two books of Narottama Das Thakur. So he suggested this book to this wealthy gentleman from Calcutta, Prema Bhakti Chandrika. It's a very esoteric, deeply transcendental teachings of Narottama Das Thakur, how to attain Prema Bhakti. And for him, for the gentleman, it was overwhelming. All the wealth he had, the education, the material, name, fame, reputation, family dynasty. Obviously, he had the entanglements of the material world, but took it on faith. Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj gave me this book. Let me study it. And he read it every day, studied it on a daily basis. After many, many years, he felt the great need or even urge of renunciation. At the end, he also became a great Babaji Maharaj. He renounced everything. That is the Shakti, the potency, the love of Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj. He could even turn a wealthy man into a renunciate, a mendicant. The potency of Narottama Das Thakur and the great personalities like Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj empowers the whole world. So we can see the gratitude Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj felt for Srila Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So his personality is glorified not only in the past, present, but in the future, for eternity. These personalities will be glorified for eternity. This is not just in our historical records, but these great personalities will be remembered by great devotees in the future. In different kalpas, they'll be remembered because they're not ordinary. They're out of Raja Leela. So they come here to inspire us, encouragement, and also giving us even just a glimpse to the transcendental world. So we should take a dust from the holy places. So if we have the chance to visit these places, Pushpa Samadhi, or go to Radha Kund, or go to Navadvip, near beyond Yogapith, we can take the dust of these places and pray to the great personalities, the Goswamis, to give us the strength, the clarity of mind, and the purification that we can also come up to the levels of prema. So by their blessings, by the great personalities, but ultimately Guru and Gauranga. So we always seek the mercy of our spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, because this is how we can raise our consciousness patiently, gradually, to the point of unconditional, unalloyed love for the son of Nanda Maharaj. Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yep, Pushpa Samadhi is the when they do the last rites, they collect the flowers. Pushpa. The actual Samadhi is where his body cremated, just like in Vrindavan, see? The original Samadhi there. And Mayapur is the Pushpa Samadhi. So often the great personalities, they coexist in different places. Braja Bhumi Dham, Navadvip Dham, Rajamandal, and Gora Mandala Bhumi. Their presence is felt, see, through the Pushpa Samadhi. So Srila Prabhupada is present in Mayapur and also in Vrindavan, of course. So that's how we offer awe and reverence to our spiritual masters, our dearest Srila Prabhupada, who's the grandfather from most of us, Srila Prabhupada. So we naturally honor our great acharyas, not to speak of going back to Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Bhaktisiddhanta Gaura Kishore. And we're very exalted. If you see, since Mahaprabhu, the Goswamis, and Narottama Das Thakur, Lokanath Das Goswami coming down to our present powerful teachers, very powerful teachers. We can be proud of that. This is the only healthy pride we can have. We have Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Srila Prabhupada, and the Association of Vaishnavas. I'm very proud of that. Hare Krishna. Yeah, 2 books. He was illiterate, but you see, just like Bhaktisiddhanta was puzzled how he got to yoga.